So I got my new Android today, head unit, brand name Pumpkin. Now, unlike the last head unit that I got and sent back, this one here gives you instructions on what the wires are and where the RCA connections go, but doesn't give you a pin out. So unfortunately, that's if you ever lost the connection to this one, there's no pin out to show you what wire went where. The manual's pretty thick, but that's because it's got 3 different languages in it. It's got English and DE, I don't know what DE stands for, and Japanese. But you know, it's got what you can expect from a manual inside it. I mean, I can't really go through everything with you, but you know, just your basic how to use it mainly. I didn't see anything in there about wiring, but it's got instructions on how to set up and how to use it. So that's only thick because of the 3 different languages. Also get a, okay, so this is supposed to be a warranty card. Okay, not that it's of any use because it doesn't have any information about the unit on it. It's just a, I mean, like, there's no part numbers or anything on it for a warranty card, nothing to fill out to say this is the date that you purchased it or that it arrived, so it's kind of pointless. Anyway, it comes with all the bag. This is all the GPS, microphone and everything that's in it, so your standard stuff really. There's nothing really special about that. All head units come with all their cables and everything. I guess that if there's anything missing I'll mention it, but that should have everything that I need. So the reason why I got this one and got rid of the other one is because I needed to have the Bluetooth options in settings, because without that it's useless to me. And this is the unit I got here, and every unit I buy always has 4 gig of RAM and 64 gig of storage capacity. This one says it does OBD2, but most head units I've gotten all do OBD2. None of them do, well, not none of them, most of them don't do OBD1, and that's a rare thing to ask for. But anyway, I also like to have other things connected through Bluetooth, not just a mobile phone or an OBD2 or an OBD1. I like to have a booster ramp and so forth, so the unit needs to have Bluetooth options. It's kind of pointless if it doesn't. Anyway, I'll connect this up to power, turn it on, and I might first see if I can put some screen recorder software on this, so instead of me holding the camera towards the unit and explaining everything, I can just do it straight away from screen and just get it full view. I'll try that anyway, and once I sort that out, then we'll go through the unit and find out if it does what I want it to do and what else. Okay, well, most units come with 2 USB. I'm a bit surprised that this one has 4, so that's a good thing. The more USB the better. This is the Wi-Fi antenna. Normally it's just a little antenna that sticks in the back of it, you know, screws on, but this is one that's extendable, so you can put it up nice and high somewhere. The microphone, I've never used them. I find the head units have a good enough microphone themselves to not worry about having the external microphone, but that's by choice. Standard harness. My van's already wired up for that particular connection, so this should be an easy install. But if you don't have it, I have a spare one. That's from Toyota to the aftermarket kit. So I like harnesses. I don't like cutting wires and soldering wires. It takes too long. I use TeamViewer to remotely control my Android device from my computer. This is a good thing here. Rock chip XP5. There's actually somebody who puts videos on YouTube that makes custom software. I'll try and bring that up to give you a look. This is the one. I won't play the whole video, but I'll give you a quick look at it. This YouTuber here, Malay, he's made a mod 10. He makes custom software, but he never replies to any comments. He's never replied to any of mine. Anyway, I'll just let it play a little bit so you can have a look. I'll just turn the audio off so I don't get done for any copyright. So this is the version of his custom software here. He's just showing you to make sure that if you use it and that your Android device is compatible with his build. But you get the idea. So go and have a look, check him out. he's got some good stuff. So you see in the bottom left there, it's compatible with PX5, PX6 and PX30, which would work fine on my Android device. Anyway, getting back to it, I'm going to remotely control the unit now. So that's exactly what the unit looks like right now. So just press that center button there to access the apps, and we're going to go into settings. Now into Bluetooth. Not really too sure what this is about. Turn on Bluetooth to connect to other devices. Hope that doesn't affect connecting to my Bluetooth devices. I can't seem to get it to pair with my Bluetooth speaker at the moment, which is a disappointment. Well, like I've said before, with my Hispo unit, I could connect my Bluetooth speaker to it, and I could play the audio through the speaker. It would go through the audio in the car as well, but it would come through the speaker, and then I could control the speaker's volume, and I could play my music outside the vehicle, which is handy for me because I have a habit of forgetting my mobile phone, and I don't like to be blasting the music in the car. So I could take the speaker with me wherever I was, and I just listen to the music from the speaker directly. No, it's detecting my Bluetooth speaker, but when I try to connect, it won't let me. I'll just look at a few other settings. This is your standard Wi-Fi. If you had a modem connected to your unit, you could share the hotspot, but this is basically in every unit. Just scrolling up and down a little bit here just to give us a look at what it looks like. I spent a lot of time trying to work out the Bluetooth, and I finally got the speaker to pair up, but I still get no sound out of it. You can add icons to the front screen just by clicking on it and then dragging it over to the box, and just makes it easier access, which is handy for if you're driving. And if you scroll past all the apps, you'll come to the widgets, and you can select widgets to be on the screen, much like a mobile phone. I found most of the apps on this unit are outdated but functional. When I try to update them, I get a message saying that the unit is not compatible. Like Netflix, for instance, I can watch it, I can log in and watch it, but it won't update. This front screen here, I'd love to be able to remove that time and put in like another window in there, so I could have my OBD tool settings in there display, so I can view what's going on with the car and still be able to tune the radio and use other icons. But maybe in future releases of our Android, that might be an option later on. Anyway, enough to show you here. I'll get the unit installed tomorrow and show you it working. Okay, so in the van now, and got a bit of a mess here happening, but that's kind of standard, isn't it, for doing head units? And you know, I've got plenty of connections. There's the old unit out there, plenty of connections down there from all the units I've had in the past. But I just wanted to show you, this is the antenna I was talking about earlier on, where it just goes on like that, and it's nice and tidy behind there, rather than having that big long wide one here that you have to find a place for as well. But I came across a GPS Wi-Fi that I picked up a long time ago and always meant to give it a go. There's GPS and Wi-Fi in the one, so you put that on your dash facing that way, so that's facing to the sky, and it just plugs into the back of the unit here. You got both your connections there. That goes into the back of the unit. So I'm going to test that out. Since I'm here doing this, I'm about to put this together and test it first before I mount it all up and install it properly. Just want to give it a test run first. So the manual for this is wrong. The CCD is the reverse camera in, according to the diagram on the top there, and the head unit shows that there's an RCA connection coming from the head unit, which there isn't, and that's not the right head unit for this anyway, because it's got the two volume controls. That looks more like a Hispo, like my old unit, and it has a wire coming out, which it would be for the old unit. So this is not the right manual for this unit, so just take that with a grain of salt. Most of the instructions in it would be the same, but the wiring is not. Thankfully there is wiring on here that tells you what everything does, so you're not up ship creek. Okay, well that's on, and that's the Google Maps. That's the Google Maps, but obviously I haven't downloaded the maps, and I don't have Wi-Fi connected to the van out here. So it's not showing me any map, it's just showing me where home is and where I am, but that's fair enough. I know it's working, and that's running off that GPS there. And I'll do a test of Wi-Fi, and if I'm happy with that, I'll just keep using that. And obviously sound's working. And if I go reverse cam, that's working as well. It's a bit hazy, so my cam probably needs to be cleaned. I haven't used it for a long time, but the fact that it's working, that's great. I'm happy with that. And let's just show from the back here. This is the way I set up my reverse cams with the Wi-Fi reverse. I don't like having to run cables through the car. This is just so much easier. You just put it into the positive and negative for the AC and well, ACC auxiliaries. And when you turn it on, that's always got power. When you put it in reverse, transmit to each other, and job's done. You know, it's easy stuff. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick. I'll just do a quick turn the key and see how long it takes to boot up. I'd like to change that so I see my car logo. Don't know if I can with this unit. Okay, so that's now ready to go. So it's quicker than other units I've had. Some units you could sit in there. Some units you can actually be driving already before it's finished booting up. So I'm happy with that it's finished booting up before I actually leave the driveway. Okay, so you can hear the volume working now. If I wanted to square the distance between here, sounds alright. It's one of my videos. The YouTube app won't work on here, keeps on crashing, but I can watch YouTube through the browser anyway, so that's no big deal. It doesn't square up. Okay. Alright, well, everything's working, so I'll mount this in. And this is the main reason why I needed to be able to connect with Bluetooth in settings. I don't know if I've said it already in the video, but if you can't do Bluetooth in settings, then you've got the cheaper version of the software that gets pre-installed in these. So you're limited with your settings and so forth. You've got to, I don't know if there's other ways to find out, but if you don't have Bluetooth settings, the Bluetooth options in settings itself, then yeah, look for another unit. There's too many units out there that don't have it, and they can't connect to other devices other than a phone and an OBD2 scan tool. And already I've connected to 2 other Bluetooth devices besides that, and this is one of them. Well, this is very important to me to run a diagnostics on my van. I like to know what's going on. Okay, everything's great, everything's fantastic, so I'm really happy with this unit. Thankfully, they're not easy to find, but they're out there. Right, I'm just going to do a quick close off. So 4 things that were a selling point about this unit for me was that it's an octa-core, which I've never heard of before. 5 things actually. The size of the unit was a selling point for me. It wasn't just an inch thick like I've seen other units. This has got a body to it, so it told me that it's got more things inside it, so it's going to be a better radio. Going to be a better head unit. It connects to my scan tool, which is a must. If it didn't connect to my scan tool, then I probably wouldn't have even bothered with it. It's a bit slow to connect, but it gets there. It had to have settings. It had to have Bluetooth settings. If it didn't have Bluetooth settings, I've got the connection to connect the Bluetooth devices. If it didn't have this option, it's no good to me, because without that I can't connect to my things. And I had to connect to my Bluetooth speaker, and it does connect to my Bluetooth speaker, but unfortunately I can't hear the audio through it. So it's 4 out of 5 things that passed. The radio that I had before, it was basically just 1 out of 5 things that passed and was no good to me. And you try and talk to people and say, does it have this and does it have that? And go, oh yeah, it does that, and when it arrives, it doesn't, and it's rather upsetting, and I have to send it back. That's what I've done with the last unit. Anyway, so I think I went over to, I'll go over again just one last time. So it's a PX5, we've established that. Serial number means nothing. Android 10, Android security patch, the build. So this unit here, I could find the firmware update for it easy. MCU version is the 19th of December 2020. CPU is octa-core, A53. Memory is 4 gig. And I'm connected to Wi-Fi at the moment through my phone. I've got to correct my date and time because every time I'm not connected to Wi-Fi, that changes to the year 2021. And time is about 5 hours out, so I need to go into settings and change that, which is I was right there and I went away from it. Okay, system, language, date and time, so it's easy enough to find. Got to turn all this off to set it manually, which I'll do later. I'm just on the side of the road right now going over this, listening to the Bluetooth music. That's all you get. It'd be nice if you got a picture or something of the music that you're playing, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, other than that, I'm like, it's responsive. I want to go to the apps. I want the apps. I want to scroll. You know, it's pretty quick. I want to go Chrome and see YouTube there. That's my video. And there's one, actually there's an app that I would like to have, YouTube Music. I've only just installed, here we go, I prefer that over Google Maps. And you can download the whole map directory for free onto here we go, where Google Maps doesn't let me do that, or it didn't last time I used it. I haven't used it for a while. YouTube Music. This is a pain in the butt that, you know, the screen is covered up a bit with the keyboard, but you know, you got to accept it. Just wait for it to finish installing, and I'll see if it opens up or crashes. If it crashes, it'll be a bit upsetting, but it just means I'll have to play all my music through the phone. Okay, no, it has all my music in there, so that's good. And it didn't crash like YouTube does. Excellent. Okay, even shows on the front screen there now, so I don't have to be actually in Bluetooth settings. I can come back out and it shows me there, so I can look at the screen. Now, if only, like I mentioned before, if only I had a window here as well to show me my scan tool, I'd have everything on the screen that I'd want. Okay, well, a lot of this footage had to be deleted because when I was recording it, I didn't realise that the microphone wasn't sensitive enough, and I was just cutting in and out, so there's a lot missing. But I hope what I have left in was helpful to understand this head unit and if you'd want to buy one or not. So next time, guys, cheers.